marginal change. In working with two variables related by a regression equation, the marginal change in a variable is the amount that it changes when the other variable changes by exactly 1 unit. That's the slope, the y value divided by the x value. If I have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, for the x's, I only go up 1. Then I'm looking at the change in the y values. That's my slope, and that's also called the marginal change. The slope of 2.49 tells us that if we eat 1 more kilogram of chocolate, we'll get 2.5 more Nobel laureates, which seems silly, but we do have an equation that fits the points relatively well. What is an outlier? In a scatter plot, an outlier is a point lying far away from the other data points. I have a graph that looks like this, and a line of best fit that maybe looks like this. And then we have a point over here. That is definitely an outlier. It doesn't come anywhere near our regression line, and it will affect this line considerably. If I were to add that point in, my regression line might change to something like this, which is now really far away from all the points except that one dot. We want to figure out why that dot is there. Is it an error? Is it there on purpose? If it's there on purpose, what is it about that point that makes it so far away from all the rest of our data? These are important questions to ask. Influential points. Paired sample data may include one or more influential points, which are points that strongly affect the graph of the regression line. This outlier is an influential point, but we could have influential points that are not outliers. Outliers are real specific. We could have points that are just dragging the regression line in one direction or the other. And those points are really there and they really exist. They will influence the regression line. Here's a nice example. Here's the original chocolate Nobel data from table 10.1. Then we add this 1 point, 50, and we're calling that an influential line. If we have this line, it would most likely look like this, but we can see that 1 point drastically influences it, and it changes the slope from almost 2.5 to 0.06, which is quite a bit of change. This is almost flat. Every point, especially if it's very far away from all of your other points, will dramatically change your regression equation. The additional point 50, 0 is an influential point because the graph of the regression line did change considerably, as shown by the regression line on the previous screen. Compare the two graphs to see clearly that the addition of this one pair of values has a very dramatic effect on the regression line. So that additional point is an influential point. The additional point is also an outlier because it is far from the other points. This would be both an outlier and an influential point.